Let's start off with the NSE 20 share index, which is dipping for the second straight day, or should it be the third straight day. What's happening on that end?
Historically, October has been a funny month for the stock market.
Right.
Actually, I think we'll take the general direction in the coming weeks maybe after the end of October. If you remember, we've just closed the quarter. Fund managers are out. I think guys are still developing a wait-and-see attitude.
So the 4,000 mark, might we be hitting that in October, or should we just forget about that?
Larry, I've always maintained I'm not a fortune teller, but well.
Maybe you should try that once in a while.
But of course, like I said, the month of October will determine which direction we take.
Let's start with talk about Uchumi, which is one of the ones that is starting to appear on everybody's radar again. Uchumi was up actually to a 4-month high yesterday. What are investors seeing on Uchumi?
Uchumi, I would buy at those levels because again, you see strong fundamentals. This is a company that really the history is rosy. I mean the future is rosy. The history is not so rosy. But well, as an investor at those levels, to me, it's still a buy.
Because a lot of people are speculating on profit. They expect their profits when they do announce them to be high, and that's why you might see this kind of interest right now. Is that the case?
Yes, it is the case. Remember, if we look at the top-down approach, if we look at the top, interest rates have been coming down, inflation has been coming down. Of course, we expect them to make sales because things are now more affordable. And of course, our teachers have just gotten a pay rise, Larry.
Teachers have gotten a pay rise. So everybody's moving on to the supermarkets to buy a few more.
Yes.
Excellent. Maybe this is a good time to be a teacher. I should have considered that. On the other side, Unga Group actually hit a 1-year low due to a profit drop. This was to be expected, right, for Unga Group?
Unga Group has always been a closely held counter, difficult to monitor.
Yes.
But then again, remember, the competition there is a bit stiff. Really, the number of players in the cereal sector are high. Because if you remember, even in my, where I come from, in the small estates, you'll find there's the portion mills.
Yes.
That again portends much competition for Unga. High input costs, volatility of the price of maize, all that is bound to affect it in one way or the other.
The one thing I've noticed about the market, is just diverting from Unga Group, is that both EGADS and Sasini were at the top of the market yesterday. Is there anything the market knows that I should be, or everybody else should know?
Tea production,
yes,
coming up. We've just gotten the report, I think last week or this week, about tea production that is expected to increase. And also in a couple of weeks' time, I'll be inviting you to enjoy my boom.
Excellent. Maybe you're a tea farmer as well. Everybody, are you one of those agricultural, rather phone farmers who you live in Nairobi, but you have a farm somewhere and you always just manage it on phone?
No, Larry, I do it actively.
All right, KCB. Madowo Otieno is decided he's not renewing his contract with the bank. Is this a matter of concern? Is this usual?
No, I think it's always good to retire on a high. Yes, it's more or less like being a one-term president. It's actually beautiful.
Right. People
will remember you for all the good things. I think he's done a commendable job for KCB. Remember when he took over KCB, I was actually a KCB shareholder myself.
Right.
And I really can't complain about his stewardship. The returns have been pretty good for me.
So what does this mean about whoever is going to succeed him? He succeeded Terry Davidson because he came in initially as the deputy CEO of KCB and took over, and he's really restored confidence in the bank. It's he's spearheaded a regional expansion, and now he's leaving. The kind of shoes whoever will be replacing him has to feel are pretty significant, no?
Big, Larry. The shoes will be big. The shoes will be big. But of course, it won't be such. It will be a hard task trying to find someone who can replace him. But of course, there are professionals who can measure up to that, I believe. Any
particular names that come to mind immediately?
Larry, myself.
Yourself. If you do become KCB CEO, we'll bring you back on here and say he said it, he predicted it on the show. Let's talk about the shilling. We did take a bit of a beating at the end of the month, as is to be expected. But now that the new month is here with us, what are your thoughts on the shilling for the next few weeks?
The shilling. We've seen the government coming into the repo market quite a bit.
Yes.
I expect it to kind of weaken. Mainly, we've seen diaspora remittances coming up. Going up again. Really, October, for me, I expect it to sort of weaken a bit.
And those diaspora remittances you talk about, I want to touch on one aspect which is of interest to Kenyans, and that is the amount of unaccounted for money, money you don't know exactly where it's coming from. Ideally, it's said to have been from Somalia, but since the offensive against the Al-Shabaab by the Kenyan forces in Somalia happened, these have dropped significantly. At least for the economy, does this mean a good thing or is it a bad thing?
For the economy, it's always good when there is money coming in. Okay, from an economist
but this is illicit cash. This is illicit cash.
Larry, the jury is still out there on whether it's illicit or not.
Right.
Yes.
But on the face of it, there's the property market especially was affected by all this, and there's no evidence for this, but everybody seems to believe that a lot of pirate money was making its way into the country, and that is the proceeds of the crime in Somalia, and therefore that distorted the property market. When this has dropped from about 2 billion shillings to about 1.8 billion, that is a significant drop, isn't it?
Yes, it is a significant drop. I expect to see a continued drop a stagnation in the real estate sector. Of course, the shilling will also take a beating from it. Inflation also, yeah.
Yesterday, Standard Chartered, I'm moving back to the stock market. Standard Chartered launched its rights issue yesterday. A lot of people expect it to do very well, to be oversubscribed even. Where do you see it on this?
Standard is one of the counters that we consider as blue chip counters.
Yes.
Good returns. A splendid investment for any investor. Of course, and then again, remember the parent company owns approximately 75% of the company.
Yes, and the parent company has said it will be taking up all its rights.
Yeah, so of course, follow the smart money. I would also love to, if I was a fund manager, I would pick it up.